Hey everyone, today I'm making steamed bread and I wanted to share with you guys how I make my steamed bread. And if you grew up in black family, I'm gonna say black family, and I don't know if it's South Africa only, but you know that growing up around our parents making things, food or baking stuff, bruh, they did not measure anything. They just did everything like an instinct. So I don't have measurements for you guys. I'll try and estimate, but yeah. So I am using a Sasko wheat cake flour, and I used about like 2 cups and a little bit. So 2 cups of the Sasko wheat flour, and then after that I used some sugar. We love brown sugar in my place, and we hardly use or buy any white sugar. We've stopped, in fact, like long time ago, and we just decided to just use brown. And I think I used about 2 or 3 tablespoons of that. And then after that, I followed it up with some salt. And I think that's about a teaspoon of salt. And a yeast that I think there was about like half a yeast in that bag. I can't remember now what are the grams of this, but I did use a little bit last time I made bread. And now I'm just using the rest of the yeast which was in there. And then I went ahead and added flaxseed powder just to boost up the fiber in the flour. I think about 2 tablespoons. And then I am also adding in jungle oats, also about 2 tablespoons of that. And after my oats, I went ahead and added some ground nutmeg, about a teaspoon of that. And if I don't have ground nutmeg, sometimes I do use like a teaspoon of ginger, because we do like our breads a little bit spicy. So those are the ingredients that I used in this steamed bread. And also, when I am busy with my dough, like in the middle of my dough, what I will use as well is like a sunflower or olive oil. But I didn't have any in this case or today. And so you will see when I'm busy with the dough that I will be using a little bit of butter, just so it can get that same feeling when I'm using those types of oils. Now I am done with the dough, and I am getting ready to cover up the dough, and then I'll place it in the microwave because it's the warmest place. Or otherwise, sometimes I do put it in the oven because it's also a little warm. And I'm using is it a cling plastic, something, a cling wrap plastic, and it's actually the last two cling films or patches, because I've been using a lot of it, making a lot of bread. Things are getting expensive, bread is getting expensive, and so I've just bought a lot of flour so that I can make my own bread. My oven is broken at the moment. They don't want to fix it, but it's okay. I can still make bread in my iron cast pots and make it on the stove, besides the steam bread, but I can also do the other bread on there. And yeah, the last step now is just to place like a cloth towel on top of these to give it a more warmth before I put it in the microwave. And then we're gonna wait for a while because I'm gonna go back to sleep. It's still very early in the morning, by the way, and then we'll check it later for steaming. Right, my bread is now ready. It's the dough is risen, and now it's time for it to go in the pot. And I like my dough to be very nice and moist or soft. It just it's another way of making sure that the bread, when it's after it's cooked, it can still have that softness and that moisture also. And the bread pan is also ready, and I put a generous amount of butter, and I laid that in there so that the bread also, it can be easy for it to just come out when it's done, when it's cooked, obviously. And also I have, as you guys have seen, I did add oats in the bread, so in the dough. So sometimes I do put on or place for garnish the oats on top of the bread or the dough, or I use parsley. And but today I decided to use oregano herbs, which we always use as well. It's very lovely. It's got a very lovely taste and aroma to it, and it just, when the bread is busy steaming, it just fills up the whole house. The herbs, the aroma of the herbs, it fills up the whole house, and it just smells really, really good. And also the taste of the herbs, the oregano herbs, they taste really, really good as well. And on the stove, I already have my water on the stove, and I'm just now going to put in or place the, as you can see, the bread, the dish, or what is it, bread tin inside. And now we're gonna wait about an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours for the bread to cook. And here we are after about 2 hours actually. I went in for the extra 15 minutes because I did say that it's about 1 hour and 45 minutes, but I went extra 15 minutes, and the bread is nice and soft, and just it was delicious and just right in time because it was almost 2 o'clock, like quarter to 2, and my daughter is about to come out of school, and yeah, she'll also enjoy nice fresh bread, homemade bread. And I'm just cutting out some two slices for myself because I could not resist. It was just looking so delicious. And I'm just gonna have the bread with a little bit of butter, and I might also put in some or place some ham and cheese and just enjoy the bread with a cup of tea.